Welcome to Had6 channel. In this video, we will look into bias. 14 nouns with similar meanings will be reviewed in example sentences. Let's get started. Number 1. Favoritism, which means the practice of giving unfair preferential treatment to one person or group at the expense of another. Favoritism. For example, we want one rule for everyone and no favoritism. Number 2. Proclivity, which means a tendency to choose or do something regularly. Proclivity. For example, a proclivity for hard work. Number 3. Bigotry, which means intolerance towards those who hold different opinions from oneself. Bigotry. For example, the difficulties of combating prejudice and bigotry. Number 4. Predilection, which means a preference or special liking for something. Predilection. For example, her predilection for married men. Number 5. Leaning, which means a tendency or partiality of a particular kind. Leaning. For example, his early leanings towards socialism. Number 6. Predisposition, which means a liability or tendency to suffer from a particular condition, hold a particular attitude, or act in a particular way. Predisposition. For example, differences in public perceptions of the news were associated with people's political predispositions. Number 7. Tendency, which means an inclination towards a particular characteristic or type of behavior. Tendency. For example, his tendency to take the law into his own hands. Number 8. Intolerance, which means unwillingness to accept views, beliefs, or behavior that differ from one's own. Intolerance. For example, she was tested for lactose intolerance. Number 9. Partisanship, which means prejudice in favor of a particular cause. Partisanship. For example, an act of blatant political partisanship. Number 10. Partiality, which means unfair bias in favor of one person or thing. Partiality. For example, the president had shown partiality towards the group's cause. Number 11. Discrimination, which means the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. Discrimination. For example, victims of racial discrimination. Can you think of other examples? Please share them in the comment section below. Hitting the subscription button is the best way to stay connected. See you in the next video.